Shalom, devotion from nation. Back again, I'm Pastor Chris, and I'm glad and honored to be given an opportunity to share to all of you. Today, I want to share with all of you about the subject of rest, because I believe in our walk of Christianity, in our walk, in our calling, it is very fundamental that we know how to rest. The verse that I would like to share with all of you comes from Deuteronomy 5 verse 12 to 15. Deuteronomy 5 verse 12 to 15, it says, "Observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy, as the Lord your God has commanded you. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you nor your son or daughter, nor your male or female servant, nor your ox, your donkey, or any of your animals, nor any foreigner residing in your towns, so that your male and female servants may rest as you do. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and that the Lord your God has brought you out of here with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. Therefore, the Lord your God has commanded you to observe the Sabbath day." So in God's perspective, even animal had to rest. Okay, so I would like to open the sharing today with a thought. God created everything. Okay, God, before He created everything, He Himself had a rhythm, and He had set a rhythm to all of His creation. See, everything that God created moves. Even if you say rock, it didn't move. Well, it's true, but the particles inside the rock, they all move. See, everything that God created move. It aged. It actually has a movement in everything that God created. But in everything that God created, even though it moves, God also set a pattern that every living things that God created had to learn how to rest. Because resting is God's idea. Resting is not human's idea, it's God's idea. God has a rhythm. You see, when God first created heaven and earth, He did that only on six days. Okay, and on the seventh day He rested. So if we remember, God created everything only in 6 days, but the pattern, He worked for 6 days, and the seventh day He rested. Now the question that we have to ask ourselves is, why does God need to rest? Because for us human, we think that we only need to rest when we are tired. We think that if we are not tired, then we shouldn't rest. We should work. We should maximize our work. We should maximize our time. There is no time to rest. That is how our thoughts. That's how our mentality is. And especially as a Christian, we are always in pursuit of things that we don't remember that God also ordered us to rest. Especially during the pandemic, everybody was in panic. Even the prophets of doom, they keep prophesying that, God is coming, the world is ending, God is pouring out His wrath all over the world. This is God's wrath, or whatever it is. And the prophets of doom also prophesies that, okay, it's the next year is going to be worse. 2021, 2022, there's going to be a much scary virus and everything. They're basically prophesying doom with all those kind of things that's happening all around us as Christian. We thought that this is the time that we should run because God is coming soon. Okay, well, I'm not opposed to that idea, but I want to give us a reminder that we are in this place. We are on the long run. We are not here for just a short term. We are here for a very long term. So we have to keep in mind that even though we have to do our best every day as if God is coming back tomorrow, but we have to have a vision for a long years, because once again, we are in this for a long run, not for a short run. In that case, I would like to remind all of us that God has already set a pattern before He created you and I. that everything that God created had to learn how to rest. Rest is God's idea, it's not man's idea. Back again to the concept that I just shared to all of you, that God worked 6 days and he had to rest for the 7th day. Why does God have to rest? Obviously, God is not tired. Our Savior never slept nor slumbered, right? He is not tired. He never grew weary. He's a God. Okay. So the question now is, why does God, who never got tired, need to rest? Could it be that he's actually displaying a pattern for us to follow? Because God obviously never got tired, but he still rested anyway. See, I believe there's something that God's trying to teach us, that resting is not only because you're tired. Most of us, we only rest when we are tired. That's why our resting is not maximum. Our resting is not effective, because we rest only when we are tired. Because if we see God rests not because he's tired, then why does God rest? For me, the only thing that I believe God shows, that when he worked 6 days, he still rested, not because he's tired, but because he wants to learn to enjoy everything that God had created, that he himself had created. So that's why he command us, the verse we just read from Deuteronomy 5 teaches us that Sabbath resting is a command. It's not a suggestion. It's a command that we need to obey. See, God had put 10 commandments that all of us agree that these 10 commandments is something that we still have to obey, even when we're living in the New Testament, even when we're living in the age of grace, we still agree that this 10 commandments is one of the most important things that we still have to keep. See, but of all these 10 commandments, there's this one commandment that we often belittle this command because we think it's not that important. We believe we shouldn't do adultery, we shouldn't use God's name in vain, we shouldn't steal. Those things we agree upon. But upon the subject of resting, some of us think that it's not really necessary. I mean, if we can work for God and we can like work it out, we work every day without rest, we only rest when we're tired, we think by doing that we're pleasing God. But we have to remember that God already set a rules that we have to obey, that even when we are working, we need to learn how to rest. A few weeks ago, I stumbled upon a tweet from a very well-known person. If you know Elon Musk, Elon Musk, a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago now, he tweeted a quote. He said that, I quote, Elon Musk said this: "I work 365 days a year. I work 31 days a month. I work 7 days a week and 24 hours a day. And people still say that I'm lucky." Elon Musk is one of the wealthiest person in this world, and that tweet becomes very popular, and everybody retweeted. Christian and non-Christian, all of them they're just, wow, this tweet is so good, this tweet is so powerful. So everybody retweeted that tweet, because all of us have this idea that true, I can be where I am today is because I work. I can be where I am today is because of my hard work. If I don't work hard, then God will not bless me. That's the mentality that we all have. We say that we work 365 days a year, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We always show off that we are very hard working. And by that, actually, we have to understand that statement. Why is it so popular among believers and non-believers as well? Why is that statement so popular for this generation? Because we have to see, we have to understand that this generation, we live in a mentality that really idolizes effort. We always think that it's through our effort, it's only by our effort alone. And if we have this mindset, if we don't do our best, then who else would care about this? If we don't think about it, about this current situation, that who else will think about this? We always think that nobody cares except us. So we always think that we have to do our best because nobody else would do it if it's not us. So this kind of mentality idolizes effort. That is why, once again, this is a very popular way of thinking in our generation, because this the age we're living in is the age where we always show off about our busyness. That's why when we meet a friend, we meet someone that we haven't met for so long, sometimes when we ask, hey, how are you doing? We suddenly just blurted out our busyness. Oh, we're doing this now. Now I'm doing this every day. I never had a rest. I had Zoom meeting every day. Blah, blah, blah. We always tell how busy we are because somehow we mistakenly equalize busyness equals to fruitful. We think that we are busy, we are fruitful. We think that now that of course I'm bearing fruit because I'm busy. Obviously, when I'm busy, I'm bearing fruit. But my friends, I beg you to differ, because being busy is different from being fruitful. I know people who are very busy, but they are not fruitful at all. Yet, I know some people who are very fruitful, but they're not too busy to stop and talk. They're not too busy to enjoy their life. They're not too busy to enjoy their family. See, fruitful does not mean busy. Busy and fruitful are two different things. God calls you to be fruitful, not busy. But the devil will always try to get you busy. I want to quote, if you know Corrie ten Boom, this famous woman of God. Corrie ten Boom once said that if the devil cannot get you to sin, he will get you to be busy. Corrie ten Boom equalized busy with sin. She basically say, if you're busy, it's the same as you are sinning. Why is busy the same as sinning? Because for us, it doesn't make sense, because we think busy means a good thing. Busy have to be positive. I mean, busy means I am hardworking. Busy means I am good. Busy means I'm trustworthy. Busy means I'm better than anyone else who are not busy. Okay, so but this statement that Corrie ten Boom said once, I think is very profound, because she basically said that being busy is the same as sinning. If you ask me why being busy is the same as sinning, for me the answer is one. Because both of them, okay, both sinning and both being busy, both of them destroy your relationship with God. Both of them hurt your relationship with God. When you're sinning, basically you are creating a distance between in your relationship with God. And when you're busy, you forgot how to build your relationship with God as well. See, these two things are basically the same, because both of these things hurt your relationship with God. That's why, once again, God gives us command for us to learn to rest, because resting is very powerful. I had a story. There's a story that I want to share. One time, they held a competition about chopping woods. Okay, so people from all over the world come and they chop the woods. Okay, one of the contestants who are favored on winning is a very big guy, and he had a big axe. Okay, he keeps chopping the wood non-stop. So the competition was held for 3 days. Okay, 3 days they have to chop the wood, and the winner is the one who chops the most wood. Okay, so this big guy who is favored on winning keep on chopping the woods. He didn't really rest. He only sleep like maybe 2 hours or 3 hours a day, and he keeps on chopping the woods. Okay, he keeps chopping, and the other competitors, one who is also not as favored to win like this one. Compared to this one, there is another person who joined the competition, and he spent most of the time resting. Okay, he chops the wood, but then he rested. Maybe he chops 1 hour and then he rested for another hour. He chops again, rest again, chop again, rest again. After 3 days, people keep an eye on this guy who keeps on chopping, who only rests maybe 1 or 2 hours a day. At the end of the third day, when the competition is over, the time is the ending time is the time is over. Everybody was commanded to stop. Okay, nobody chop the wood anymore. Okay, now it's time for them to count the wood that they chop. After counting, first they count the one who is favored to win. Wow, they count, wow, this guy chops so much. And then after finish counting the first person, they come to the other person who chop and rest, chop and rest, chop and rest. Do you know what happens? Turns out the guy who rested and chopped the wood at chopping an hour, resting an hour, chopping an hour, resting an hour. This guy cut 3 times lumber. He chops 3 times more than the one who keeps on chopping. So this big guy was shocked. He's like, I couldn't believe it. I mean, you keep on resting. I never rest. I keep on chopping every day. I only sleep 1 or 2 hours a day. I keep on chopping. How come I chop fewer woods than you? And then the guy who rested say that it's the rest that gives me power to chop the wood better and effectively. Because when I am resting, I sharpen my axe. When you keep using your axe for 3 days non-stop, obviously your axe will not be as sharp as when you are sharpening your axe. So this guy who rested, he knows how to work, but he also knows when to take a break. It's the pause before the next chop that gives the power to the next chop. So this guy who rested know the power of resting. Resting is not for the weak. He didn't rest because he's tired. He rests because he know he have to sharpen his axe. So whenever he had the chance to chop again, he had the power to chop a faster and he chops faster and he chops with less energy than the other one who keeps on chopping. Why? Because there is power in resting. And this, my friends, is the one that God wants to teach us, that He wants us to learn how to rest. Enjoy your family. Enjoy what you're working. So 6 days you work hard. So that's why God asks us to keep Sabbath. Why Sabbath? Because Sabbath basically is saying that I need to take a break. I need a moment to reflect. Sabbath, when you take a Sabbath, a day of rest, okay? It's like you're saying, God, I believe it's through my hard work. But despite of all my hard work, if it's not because of the hand of God that was upon me, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. See, Sabbath allows you to give thanks to God who makes everything possible. Sabbath allows you to take a moment of break and reflect that it's true that even when I'm resting, God still blesses me. Even when I'm resting, even when I'm enjoying my family, I'm enjoying the fruit of my work, even when I'm doing that, God still bless me and what I'm doing still proceed. That's when you realize that it's not only by your hard work, even though it's necessary for us to do hard work things. But Sabbath allows you to understand deeply in your heart that it's not only by works. I can do all things because God allows me to do it and God enables me to do it. So friends, I hope these days, what I just shared would encourage some of you that we had to learn how to rest. We are on this for the long run, not for the short run. Thank you. God bless you all. Devotion from Nations. I love you all and I see you on the next devotion.